Hey guys, Freddy here. Must be time for another subbing story. So for those who don't know, I started subbing during the 2019-2020 school year. Yeah, that 2019-2020 school year. Which meant that the year ended abruptly around my birthday. And then the next year was absolute havoc. It was awesome from a financial standpoint because it meant I was able to work pretty much every day. But on the other hand, there was one building in particular where the teachers kept taking off. And I'm not 100% sure it was because of said virus. The kids also were not all that great either. They've all graduated now, so it's I got no problem with that building now, but back then it was kind of a war zone. So pretty much most of the year I was dreading having to work. But then came the end of the year, and the last day I worked was not at that district or at that building. It was actually the district where I'm from, where I worked. And so I thought, be a good way to end the year. 5th grade, figure it'd be alright. And I knew that it would be a good day whenever the kids would start filing in, and this one girl stops in the doorway, sees that it's me, and then says at the top of her lungs, "Thank the Lord." I don't know if this kid actually believes that there is a God or not. I hope so, but I was like, well, why'd you have that reaction? And so the whole class was like, oh, we was hoping it would be someone other than the substitute that we somehow always get, who makes us feel stupid every time she comes. Oh yeah, little Johnny doesn't understand this assignment, so we're going to have to do another one as a class. Oh, little Susie doesn't understand this assignment, so we're just going to have to do yet another problem as an entire class. And I was like, that's not how subs are supposed to work. But unbeknownst to me, it was a fun day. So there was no teaching going on whatsoever. In fact, I'm pretty sure they were supposed to turn in their school-issued computers at the beginning of the day. So there was dodgeball tournament, and I can remember we went in there at first, and we got demolished. So then I just asked him why are we doing this? So why are we getting demolished? So then it was time for us to go somewhere else. I can remember this one teacher, I think she was about to I think that was her last year, about to retire in like 3 days. But I remember she was giving out them freezer pops, and she said, all right, well, $5 a piece for these freezer pops, or you can just snap at me and that'll be your payment. So I thought that was funny, but I think there were I don't remember what else was going on outside that day, but I do remember that someone had thrown the swing over the top bar of the swing set, and I kept trying to like throw it, and this kid I remembered from the past year, I just remember him because he was always just very intense and would like shout everything, but I remember he was like, all right, do it with a little more determination. And so I was just up to here with I was aggravated with this swing, and so I just shouted back, thanks, Captain Obvious. So then when I get back, I don't think I ever did put the swing right, but I go over, and the teacher, who's about to retire in 3 days, she's like, hey, that Captain Obvious comeback, that was perfect. I never heard a better Captain Obvious comeback. And I was like, well, all right, cool. And I can remember, like, I think Harry Styles had just broken off to do his own thing, and one of his songs was playing, that Just Let Me Adore You song, and so the kids were in line to do something. I think it was like they were in line to like take turns blowing bubbles or something like that. I can't remember, but I can remember just dancing like that to the song and like lip syncing, and I can just remember my entire class just applauding me. That was fun. And I remember one kid had said that it was going to be his last day there because he was going to go to the dentist. So I was happy to be part of his last day there for that year. And don't actually remember seeing that particular kid much after that day, but still, he was a memorable part of that day. And then near the end of the day, we went in and played dodgeball again, and so then I was like, okay, remember what didn't work last time. And so then, of course, I'm a big superhero nerd, and so I was trying to give one of Captain America's speeches word for word, and the kids, of course, were not listening. They were rearing to go, and so I was like, well, okay, it's not my game, it's theirs. And they ended up dominating. Like, we rocked that second game, which compared to the first game was, I mean, we did incredibly. And so we get back to the room, and I end up asking, all right, so what do we think we did right the second time? And so one kid in particular was like, well, we weren't really watching out for each other the first time, but we were the second time, and we were working as a group instead of having a free-for-all. And I was like, yeah, you're exactly right. I think there was also like drawn with like sidewalk chalk outside or something like that, but I can't remember fully all the events that happened that day. Oh, and then the kid who thanked the Lord that it was me, she had like a bag full of books she was gonna take and like sell to a local shop or something like that. And I was like, hey, let me take a look through those. And then I was like, actually better not. Which was less of me not having an interest and more of me not knowing if her story was checking out. So, yeah, just so you're aware, don't buy things from students. But, so why does that particular day stick out more than anything? Well, for one thing, it was just a really good ending to a really bad year. I mean, if you have followed my story throughout the whole subbing journey, you would know that the less we say about that second year subbing, the better. Not just because of, you know, what was happening, but because I became kind of a tyrant when trying to maintain order. And just letting you know right now, you ever want to become a substitute, don't be a tyrant. Don't be their friend either, but definitely don't be a tyrant, because that just makes them hate you. But that particular day, it was a fantastic ending to a truly horrible year. And the other reason that day sticks out so much is because I got to meet a whole bunch of just truly legendary kids who, I mean, oh man, the world does not deserve kids that good. I mean, really. They are some of the best kids this world has to offer. I know that one kid who like yelled, "Thank the Lord." She has her flaws, but she got a good heart. And then there was another kid there who, I mean, I like talking with him about superheroes and stuff, but he's also a very talented musician and a very talented songwriter as well. And I can remember subbing for band the next year, and both of those kids I just mentioned ended up being asked by the band teacher to lead. So that was awesome. And then the kid who I called Intense was, I mean, he's a very, very smart kid. His brother is also a very, very smart kid. I enjoy having both of them in class. Well, his brother's graduated now. Then there were another couple of kids. One of them actually went to my church for a little bit. Her and her older sister did. Then there was another kid. I actually went to school with her sister, and then she started coming to camp. But that was the first day I actually met her. And it was just a good day. That just goes to show how all these little things add up to make one really awesome day that stands out in a truly rotten year. And honestly, that day, it worked to make me love subbing again. And I have that class to thank for it. So, to any kid in that 5th grade class, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm really gonna miss you guys. In fact, the musical genius, I remember last thing he ever said to me was, "You better come back next year." And sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'll give you a couple weeks, but no more. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that story as much as I did. So don't do anything you'll regret.